Welcome to episode 1 of Kramer Makes. I'm Kramer Ammons, and I like to restore things. I like to build things. I like old things. I like to customize something perfectly for one specific need. I picked this up from Amazon recently. Etsy. Here's the thing. I wanted a paper cutter, so I went and looked for one, and I found some, but they looked new, and I didn't want new. I wanted character. I wanted something that would be solid and make me happy every time I looked at it. This is a pretty cool start, but we can improve on this paper cutter a ton. So we're gonna refinish it and give it new life. The company who built this moved addresses, and zip codes were introduced in 1963. And this address on the label has a zip code, so it was post 1963. And the grid pattern on this was really the most common style made for schools between 1963 and 1970. So this one was most likely built in those 7 years. The paper cutter I have is a solid maple base. The arm is completely metal with a spring cast handle. And lastly, probably the most important and the best feature is that there is no safety guardrail. Sometimes in today's world, things are over-regulated, I feel like, and make tools inconvenient because of safety reasons. AKA, they don't want to get sued. There is no rule here, but I have a couple decisions I need to make. I'm not like trying to follow a specific program of refinishing things or building things. It's just whatever I want. And what I like is to keep the authentic feel of the old tool or machine. Because of the spring, it keeps it up. On the back here, we have an engraved ruler, and with the grid pattern, you can line it up exactly on the engraved grid to get your distance easy every time. The red spring is replaceable, but this one's still strong. We'll take all of this apart and lubricate it. The metal is rusty, we'll wanna fix that. There's stickers and gunk on here that just needs cleaned off. Same thing with the tabletop. We can clean this up to make it look brand new, but keep the nice old maple look. Looks like there was a repair here before. I am unsure what this hole is for. It's a countersunk hole. Looks like there should be a screw there, but it doesn't go into anything. And then I also am unsure why this extends beyond the top. Is it balanced? Is that extra ½ inch helping this be more stable maybe? Then we have the logo. It's like a clear sticker that was put on. It's not painted on. So I think I'm going to photograph that, measure it, and then hand paint it on with maybe a stencil or something. Let's keep it authentic, but there's a couple of changes here I want to make it look the way I want it to. Who knows how many people have used this paper cutter? Hundreds, thousands. And because of its solid construction, it's still here. So we're gonna make this even better and make it last another 100 years. I'm way more comfortable with woodworking than I am working with metal, but I'm decent at sharpening a blade, and I'm excited to learn. So to remove the rust, I don't have any commercial rust remover. I also don't have an electrolysis setup, but they do say baking soda and vinegar can get some surface rust off, so let's try that. Let's take this blade off, and it's actually missing the screw, I realized just now. I might have one just like that though that I can replace it with. There we go. Definitely need some help. Okay, so apparently I can drop the items in here, grab some baking soda. All right, let's let that chill for a little bit and we'll see what happens. Okay, so the interwebs say that on the brass, this mixture should do the same thing. So I've got a Scotch-Brite pad here. Oh yeah, okay, so I scratched right there in the middle. And it's doing a good job so far. I know this is really basic stuff for some people, but if you've never done something, it's your first time, you're learning. and I've generally just grinded off and sanded off rust. I haven't gently removed it like this. Let's knock this out. I think it'll come off easier if I let it rest, so I'm gonna set this aside and we'll work on something else. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay, that's a jam nut, and it's tightening or loosening the spring because they're together. I need to pop that spring out to get the nut off. There we go. So now this should come off. I have something special for these guys, so let's go work on it now. Let's see if you can guess what I'm doing. Okay, our task here with these two pieces is to leave the ruler on. This one is actually painted, and so we're gonna leave that there. I'm just gonna sand lightly to clean this up. And then here, I'm gonna clean out the entire grid, refinish and sand this, and then I'm gonna repaint this on. Then we'll finish it with a nice soaking in oil finish. Oh man. Well, this is kind of tedious, but I think it'll make a difference. I'm just cleaning out all the dust and gunk from between the grooves. Makes them look really nice and clean and pronounced. Using an X-Acto knife backwards so it doesn't cut. Getting a bunch of gunk off. Whenever you're building something, if you like to craft things, make things, you're gonna run into this problem of not having the absolute perfect tool. And the issue with that is you could either go buy the tool or you can do the best you can with what you have. And I'm a big advocate for doing the best you can with what you have, but an invaluable tool is invaluable. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I have a paint marker here. And as a matter of fact, as I removed the sticker, I noticed that the area where the sticker was has not been damaged by the environment like the rest of the wood, so it left an outline for me. Basically, I have a stencil for most of this to go in with the red. So we're gonna try that. Hopefully this looks decent. I should have a calligraphy pen that would do better in this scenario, but we'll just do our best. So that's the original. Got a little bit more work to do on it. What is this brand name anyways? So that's an I. I into the N. So let's finish the N first. Is that bad for eyeballing it? Okay, now we have a T that crosses the entire thing. And then now I need to circle this. Okay, there's the start. We gotta let that dry. And then we had like that gold spot. So I'm gonna see if I have a gold pen that I could fill in there. I use this red marker, but we got pink. I mean, come on guys. The best we have is yellow, so let's give it a shot. I'm having second thoughts. I think if it were me, I would have made a black to give it contrast. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, that's the original. It's not the same, but the issue is that my red came out pink on the maple. I should have done a test piece first. I don't like the pink. Can I paint directly over it with red maybe once it dries? Oh, it's a much better color. All right, let me see if I can make this any better. Here's the updated red logo. It changed the font a little bit because of the thicker lines, but not too bad for someone medically diagnosed with dysgraphia. I was hoping to strip that handle paint off, but the issue is, well, my stripper's not working good. The paint stripper I use is for like wood and taking polishes and finishes off. It's not working good on the metal, so I'm probably gonna just revert to sanding and grinding to clean all of that off so we can have the natural feel I want on this piece. This is so working. Look at this. Still have this awesome texture. This is gonna be sick. I gotta finish this. This is gonna be awesome. Okay, now I'm gonna go in our bath. We're ready for some magic juice. That smell is so nostalgic. Let's let that soak in. Get the rag. Okay, I'm gonna take this outside so that it can get some air. Time for some more scrubbing. When I make videos, I like to use physical graphics like this. This is a chart, an elevation chart of the 50-mile race I ran recently. Talking about pros and cons, and I paint and color little letters, and sometimes I'll even do like little stop motions with little graphics I make, or print off actionable steps by Ammons. I like kind of guerrilla filmmaking, tactical, hands-on, rustic. I know how to edit in digital titles and videos. It is super easy. Oh, how cool. But the feeling of tangible, going back to paper, pinning it on a corkboard, feels different. It definitely took a lot of time to clean up all the rust from these pieces. It took about an hour, but I got them all cleaned up really nice. Then I repainted the handle black. I did this so that in those deep crevices in the metal, there'd be black dots to add a little bit more character and cover up some of that brown that I wasn't too fond of. I followed the painting with resanding the handle, and this marked the point in history that it was time to reassemble. All right, I gotta share this because it's so genius. So I was trying to pull back the spring because the nut has a hole in it that holds the spring in place, and I couldn't get it into place until I realized they were so smart building this that if you keep the ruler off, what you need to do to tighten the nut is put a screwdriver in here, pry that off, and now I can tighten the nut, and look, it's gonna swing right past. Oh, I let go too soon. Tighten the nut, it should swing right past that nub. And once you're past the nub like that, look, I can finish tightening the full circle, and I just completely tightened it a revolution. You can see right there is where there's a hole screwed into this nut, and nearly impossible to adjust unless you do it that way. But it's so cool to see something built 60 years ago that's better than how a lot of things are built today. There are a lot of good things built today, but the paper cutters I were looking at were molded or 3D printed, plastic, where this, on the other hand, every single part of this is replaceable. Okay, we got the tightness pretty good, but we need to tighten the spring a little bit more so that the arm stays up independently by itself. So you can jam nut these. See, I'll tighten the spring there and then bring the back one behind it to tighten it down. Now the arm will stop wherever I put it. That way it'll never accidentally fall and get you. Come on, baby. This stuff makes me so happy. So happy. Check it out right now. All right, let's do some good testing here. Got a normal piece of paper. I did add another screw that I found. Cutting the whole way, lengthwise. Nice. Here. Now, another test you always want to do is how thin can you cut it? Because then you know you've got good connection and it's sharp. I mean, that was like 1/8 of an inch. I mean, yeah, super thin pieces. So that's a good win. Okay, now let's do 1 sheet. Okay, that's 2. No problem with 4. Let's try 8 pieces of paper. 8 was easy. Okay, 16, and that's probably the smallest I can go with this one paper. Cut 16, starting to get thick though. How about we grab a piece of cardstock? Oh, I mean, crafting and building things is gonna be amazing. If you enjoyed the refinishing of this, let me know, because I have many more videos planned for the series Kramer Makes. With that said, please subscribe, because that would help me get to 300,000 subscribers and mean a lot to me and help you see the next video that I post. With that, I think you're awesome. Go do something cool today. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video.